Wake up, Maggie. I think I got something to say to you.
With your fucking AM morning beer.
Oh, that's just coffee.
No, what
that's
I'm
coffee
drinking
for badasses.
What I'm drinking is coffee. What you're drinking?
New podcast. Welcome everyone. Look at Clark.
Coffee brought to you by Michelob
Ultra.
Ultra. Yeah.
Russ
Straight up
is having his little old man's coffee.
And old man, why? Because why is it old man coffee?
Because you're old, bro. Because you're old.
I don't care.
Let's just get that through your head. You're old.
Well,
what's going on with you guys,
man? You know, it's good to see you, Rojo and Clark. Of course, I like the way he's clean cut. Like
clean cut you, Clark. I'm telling you,
Clark. Man.
Feel like a baby.
Hashtag clean cut.
You
Clark.
can't even
God
see it right.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
fucking up the joke,
dude.
bro.
Stick to podcasting, man. You're not good at this.
By the way, I'm not gonna lie. I do like your hat, dude. I do like your hat.
Oh,
yeah.
7 bones at the Santa Fe swap meet.
7?
Nice.
$7.
I hate going to swap meets. I'm not gonna lie. I hate swap meets.
Dude, you're the most whitewashed Mexican on the planet.
He's
bro.
like, dude, if it's not Gucci, it's not me. You know, it's not Versace. American Eagle. Where's those jeans you wear?
H&M, American
Aeropostale or
Aeropostale.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh god.
I got.
You are the
matter of fact, look at this.
There you go.
You're wearing it right now.
You go.
He's wearing an Aeropostale. You know, we're an audio podcast, bro. I have to continue to remind that after 100 episodes.
You are the Brea Mall's
I'm recording this in case you didn't know, Russ.
I know, but okay, we're good, right?
Yeah, we're going. We're on, bro.
Like, all right, let's start it. Let's start the show.
Oh, it's on.
Oh no, we started the show.
It is.
Yeah.
Well,
welcome to the NAU podcast where we never know when we're on.
So good, man. Thanks for everybody that checked out the Mondo interview. Big shout out to the Mondoose, man. That was awesome. Came through to hang out with us all the way in Upland. I mean, that was pretty cool.
That was a good interview. I'm hoping I had.
And I just posted up, and we just posted up the new episode of Clark's Fun Facts that he did with us about fair foods. That's up now as well. So if you want to head on over to our Apple Podcast or our Spotify or iHeart Podcast, go ahead and check out an episode 2, 3, 4, or whichever you want. Don't look at episodes 1 through 5 is what I'm saying, but either way, check out
I wouldn't recommend it. I think episodes 1 through 10
start after 2022.
Yeah,
that's when you should start listening.
That's when we cleaned up.
You know what? That's pretty good. Yeah, because we did clean up a little bit.
That's when we became clean cut Clark.
Oh man, we're gonna do this again.
Yes, dude. You know what?
He stumbled a little bit, but it was
this time he got a little clear on this.
I'm almost. I'll get there.
It was nice to have him on Tapped In though. I mean, and I want to get the next one. We're working on a numerology person. We're not.
Are we really?
Yeah, we are, but we're not saying any names because we're still kind of like, you know, touch and feel.
We also have another female that's ready to interview with us. That's ready to have a tapped in.
So we're trying to figure out the.
We have a female that wants to get tapped in.
Do you think now? I see what you did there.
We used to be clean cut. We were for like 10 minutes.
Nice. I see what you're doing.
I got 3 minutes.
I see what you're doing. All right.
Heavyweight championship belt.
All right. Well, look. So yesterday was we wanted to jump on and talk a little bit about the Jake Paul, man, because of this new thing, influencer fighting.
Yep.
And I'm not a fan. I'm out, guys. I'm officially out of influencer fighting. I actually went and watched it. I mean, I would never pay for something like that ever in life. It's pathetic because it's basically watching amateur fighting. I could do that on a Friday night boxing. I like watching boxing on like a bunch of nobodies, you know, like that do have 6-1 or 5-1 records, like this guy, that Jake Paul, and I cannot believe he sold out an arena of 20,000 people.
Well, it wasn't just because of him; it was because of Nate Diaz too. Nate Diaz has a huge legion of followers.
Yeah,
Nate Diaz is trash yesterday.
Wow,
at that fight,
I'm sorry. You're trash, bro.
I lost so much respect for Nate Diaz after that performance yesterday.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
Like,
what the fuck was that about?
Dude, I thought you were Stockton, dude. I thought you were so bad. You let a YouTuber beat the shit out of you for an hour and a half.
Exactly, and it looked like he was bored.
He looked like he's a cash fighter now.
He wasn't.
He's
in
a
the
cash
fight.
fighter now. He's an influence fighter. He has no business being in an octagon ever again. Ever again.
Yeah, no.
If you can't beat up Jake Paul, he had no effort too. Like
there was nothing to it. You know what pisses me off about Rojo, and I hope when he listens back to the show that you can't go in there and make a fucking statement and then pull yourself away from the fucking show right away and not even say nothing at all after that.
My favorite part is when he texts us before we start the show. It's like, doing the show, no more bullshit. He's not on the show right now. We are doing a show without Rojo. No more bullshit.
Yeah, and this is the guy. This is
only
the guy,
bullshit.
Yeah, totally. And this is the guy that wants us to go completely full-blown YouTube video.
Oh yeah, YouTube would love this.
Because this is so riveting. Way to go, Rojo. You know what I mean? I hope when you do listen back and watch this back, you watch this and be like, wow, I'm a total dick. Now who's the dick?
We can do this on a work meeting. We don't need Rojo if this is the case. If he's just going to split.
You're not lying, dude. That is the total truth. That's exactly why we put ourselves.
Hey guys, no more bullshit. I love how he comes out with this leader role, and then he just
comes the bullshit.
I didn't even notice he was gone until he brought it up.
We're looking at his fucking laundry basket right now.
Dude, that's a sweet set of windows though that he has in the background.
Look at that. Oh my god.
No more BS, man.
How could he possibly just pull himself away from? Well, since we have to hold everything down, dude. Let me. I got a situation for you, Clark. Listen, if this guy, Jake Paul, right? If this guy Jake Paul is such a fighter and a guy that wants to, do a lot of things in this sport, then why doesn't he fight like real current ranking fighters? I don't understand why
because he can't. And he did try to fight actual fighter Fury,
and he lost.
Who lost? Yeah, he lost.
Tommy Fury is a top 40 cruiserweight fighter. So I'm glad you brought that up. That is a true point. And he realized, I think, I can't fight a real ranked fighter because I'm gonna lose. And it's purely I think it's a cash grab, dude. It's a total cash grab.
Well, it's
a fucking scam.
And that's what sucks about Diaz now is Diaz is now that fighter. He used to be like a real fighter. Now he's just a bag fighter.
It's a joke, bro.
He just does it for the cash.
Fucking joke.
I don't think you
lost
guys
all
understand,
respect for him.
I don't think you guys understand what Diaz was out there to do. I think he proved the point in the fact that boxing is bullshit. Especially this.
His boxing is bullshit because he just got smacked around for 10 rounds.
He did not get smacked around. I don't understand what you guys watched. He did not get smacked around.
I watched the fight that he
lost. Stood there the whole time.
The one that he lost to the YouTube guy.
Everybody that Jake Paul, aside from Fury, every fighter that Jake Paul has
real fighter,
he's dropped him. He's knocked them out, right?
Every fighter who's not a real fighter, I dropped him. Yeah, the one real fighter you fought, you lost.
I guarantee you, I think there's going to be a PFL fight.
What the fuck is a PFL fight?
This is Fighter Lingo.
Prize fighting?
Pride Fighting League.
Pride fight, bro.
Isn't there already a Pride?
It's
Pride weekend.
It's an MMA league.
Nate Diaz is gonna hold.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Jake Paul and this whole fucking anybody that gets in the ring with that man from here on out is a fucking joke, dude.
Tyson said it the best.
Complete trash yesterday or the other day. Like just watching that, bro. I watched boxing with my father-in-law for probably the good part of about 20 years of boxing. This man has been watching boxing for 5 decades, easily 5 decades. Gone to fights, win the fights as a kid, growing up in the 60s and the 70s, and went to arena fights, right? And he was watching this fight with me in his living room, right? And we watched a lot of fights together, and he's all, what the fuck is this shit, dude?
Mm-hmm.
He's all, this is amateur shit. He's all, I don't want to watch this shit. This is garbage. I've never seen anything least entertaining as this. This is bad, dude. This is a fucking joke. What did he call? He called it something, and I can't remember the fucking name, and I should have wrote it down.
It's a circus, it's a circus attraction.
I think
it's a total cash grab.
I think that's what Nate Diaz was trying to prove because you saw how he was clowning around, right?
Hey, bro, Nate Diaz.
He also lost.
You know what? At some point, there was a couple of times where he kind of was like. Oh, you got me, Jake. And
there was a couple times.
Boom, boom, boom.
There was a couple times where Nate was like, "Bring it," and then just get socked in the face. It was like, "Oh, it was Broughton." It was delivered.
But that's Nate Diaz. How many times did we not see him in the UFC get hit? And it's just like, that ain't shit. What else do you got?
The guy looked like he was not interested in the fight. Just like he's spending his money in his head before the fight's even over, and he looked like a clown versus an actual clown on YouTube.
No
like he got made to look like such a little girl,
and it was bad, dude. It was
bad.
Really
I disagree.
Bad.
I disagree. It totally.
Oh, you disagree? What? Okay, tell me.
What fight did you watch?
What fight did you
watch?
What fucking fight were you watching?
I watched the whole fight.
My God.
I think Nate was just out there trying to prove a point that this is bullshit.
You know what Nate can do? Nate can come and bring his ass on a podcast and fucking talk about it and not stand in a ring and get a cash grab.
Dude, you know what? I used to always kind of be like, oh man, Nate Diaz looks like such a badass. Like he looks like he can really get down. Now
his brother's a better fighter, by the way.
Way better fighter. Nick's way better.
Just saying. You're gonna see Nick in a fucking ring with Logan Paul? I don't think so.
And he got kicked out of the league for
weed.
Nothing.
Dumb shit.
Nothing.
People that are still fucking stressing out over weed being illegal. Well, get the fuck out of here. You know what? Then go in your fucking medicine cabinets right now. Throw away all your fucking ibuprofen.
I'm not gonna do that. Well, no.
Get the fuck out of here. It's so stupid.
Yeah. That was what back in 2015.
No, those Xanax they have.
Well, yeah,
no, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Go have some Xanny. Fuck out of here with that. Oh, weed. Oh, you're fucking smoking weed. These kids. Get the what are you, old man? Get the fuck.
Welcome to the 1880s.
Jesus, dude, where are we at? And this Jake Paul shit is crap, dude. There are plenty other fighters that he can fight that are IBF, WBO, WBC, top 10, top 20 contenders. And that's how you fucking do it. You don't go in and get the fucking cash grab. So that fight was complete trash, and I disagree with you, Ro.
I'm trying to tell you is that I think Nate went out there to set a point saying that this is trash.
He did. That he's over the hill and he can't fight no more.
No,
that's the point. That's the only point that was made.
I disagree with you. I think Nate went out there to prove a point, to say Jake Paul is nothing but a clown and he's trash and he can't really fight. He exposed him that night.
He beat me up.
He really exposed me. He did not get beat up, dude. In no way.
What a great point.
Hey, bro, he's got an L in the loss.
Okay, but
it's the NorCal idiots.
You guys don't really see.
I'm glad it wasn't a sanctioned fight. I'm glad it wasn't a sanctioned fight.
They wouldn't sanction that fight. And if they did, I would have pulled the sanction. I'd been like, no, you guys. Go behind the Tropicana and fight. I don't care.
Since we're on it, because they classified themselves as the cruiserweight, and that was technically Diaz's first boxing, if you will, boxing match. And this is what Jake Paul does. Jake Paul goes and he pretty much pulls in fighters that are in their twilight, right? Or are they UFC fighters and who don't specialize.
What a coincidence that you're wearing a shirt that says Fool's Gold. That was last night.
That's exactly what it is. It was his cash grab. Yeah. Because look since I knew we were going to bring this up for the pod today. I was like, okay, well, let me look this up real quick. Hi, Katie. And let me look this up real quick, right? Let's look up. Here's a bunch of names that you guys have no idea that none of us have any clue who these guys are, but they are legitimate cruiserweight ranked fighters. Has anybody ever heard of Unal Dorticos?
No, but I bet he can beat up Nate Diaz.
Okay. How about this? Jai Opeteia.
No, but can definitely take Nate Diaz in 4 rounds.
So Jai Opeteia,
who Clark.
Listen. So that fighter right there is
Diaz. Why not Jake Paul?
Because
Nate Diaz, he's a winner. Because he won.
He won in there and took the money.
Jake Paul is the so-called boxer. Why are we going after Nate Diaz?
No, Nate Diaz is so-called fighter, or he likes to tell people that.
He's a legit
also,
fighter.
Why does Nate Diaz always look like he just got beat up? His face is all like puffed up. Yeah, from getting beat up a lot.
I mean, you guys remember? You know that heavyweight fighter Andy Ruiz Jr. Remember that he had that the big boy that had that lucky win not too long
lucky
ago, right?
win. I mean,
Well,
that's
he's
not
he's,
luck,
he's an
dude.
okay fighter. Yeah,
That
no,
was a
he's-
cool fight, though.
Yeah,
I
he's
remember
an okay
watching that
fighter.
fight.
Who did he
I
fight
mean, that
out?
guy
Was it Joshua?
inspired fucking people.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It was Joshua, right? Right.
He
Yeah.
made every fat guy like myself think like everything's possible. Anything's possible.
Listen. If Jake Paul steps in the ring with Anthony Ruiz Jr., now I'm
take that.
watching the fucking fight.
I'm watching
because
that.
now and then they'll never wait because they're not in the same class because
No,
they're not in the same
not
weight.
at all.
Right. They're at heavyweight and cruiserweight, which is just underneath. Right. But my point is, if you get names that are like somewhat recognizable in the sport, then it's cool. All right, let's do this shit. But not this fucking cash grab. And it's over and over and over again. He's 6-1. You're 6-1 against fucking
Nate
five dudes.
Robinson.
5 dudes that have fucking zero fucking experience in the sport. That's
Tyson,
Yeah,
ridiculous.
he beat up a old overweight who needed surgery on many things. Ben Askren. He beat up a former basketball player who was like 5'0", Nate
There
Robinson.
you go. No,
Uh,
Nate Robinson, get out of
you
here.
know,
Nate
and
I
Robinson,
thought Nate Robinson was
but
going
he
to win
takes,
that one.
but he's taking those
Nate Robinson
he's
got
taking those
knocked the fuck
W's as
out.
if like I've knocked people out. Look at me. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can knock.
But Rojo,
Really?
you're backing Nate Diaz up
Yes,
so
I
hard.
am. Because at the end
Now,
of the day,
now Nate Diaz is
at
in
the
that
end of the
class
day-
with the ex
Nate
basketball
Robinson,
player,
yeah.
the ex
Listen to me.
UFC guy. Now Nate Diaz is in that class.
Yes,
he
sir.
runs with those jokers.
there's a difference to
100%
that
right.
fight last night, though. If you guys didn't see, if you guys
I
can't
watched the whole
understand,
thing. I watched him getting
what
punched in the face every
occurred-
single round.
I fell
repeatedly.
asleep in the 6th
Wait,
round, bro.
He also fucking was willing at
I'm not
at Jake
kidding.
Paul.
Dude, Nate Diaz lost in the first 3 rounds.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he did.
He had some
Yeah, he
good
did.
fucking counters. Like,
Yeah,
there's no
he-
doubt about it. Like,
he
great
had-
counters.
Who was the aggressor?
Paul
Paul
for
was.
sure.
Are you
100%.
kidding me?
100%.
Oh, dude, he was going
The
for
aggressor?
Dude,
Once he
Nate
realized-
Diaz wasn't even like keeping his gloves up. He was like doing one of these like Stockton,
Like, yeah.
Stockton mo-
Again,
Yeah,
again,
just crack
he was
in the
proving
face,
a
crack
point
in the
that
face.
Jake Paul has no power.
it's not a point to
those
prove when you
peop-
lose.
For those
though.
people that got rocked, I think they were bought out by Jake Paul to get dropped. Nate Diaz did not get dropped, did not get knocked out like those other ones did.
he hit the floor though.
Did you not see that? It was
he
kind
hit
of
the
more
floor.
of a
Nate,
push.
Nate Diaz did go down.
Nate Diaz touched the floor.
Juan Manuel Marquez went down 3 times in one round against Pacquiao,
Uh-huh.
and it was still
Okay,
a draw.
Right,
hold on.
right against
But
Pacquiao,
you're
not
talking about
Jake
fucking
Paul.
boxers, real
Yeah.
boxers.
Yeah,
who are
yeah, now
ranked
we're
and are
talking about a
fucking
All
sport.
I'm
champions.
trying to say
who
is
are
that you guys
champions.
are saying, "Oh, well, he got dropped." I mean,
He
not
did?
Juan Manuel Marquez got dropped 3 times. It
Yeah,
should have been a
but
draw.
he's a-
You're talking about
This
he's a
fight
real
should have been
fighter.
a draw.
real fighters.
He's a
This
boxer.
fight- This fight should have been a draw.
The fight should never happen.
No, shouldn't have. Nate Diaz should never.
It's a
took that
cash
fight.
grab, and it's
He-
going to continue to be
He
that way.
ruined
And
his. He ruined his legacy.
I don't
by
think
doing
he
this.
did. I don't think he did.
100%.
I've seen Twitter.
He's
I've been-
always
I've been-
going to be the guy who
I've been
talks
looking at
shit
Twitter,
and they just say
people are
Jake
still
Paul.
calling him a legend, especially when he went at Jake Paul, and at one point he grabbed him and put him in a guillotine, and then let him go. People are like, only Nate Diaz would do such a thing. Is go right at him, put him in a guillotine, then let him go. Legend.
Like in the late rounds, I was like, when they were Jake was like really holding, hugging Diaz. And I was like,
Because
Diaz
he
is gonna
couldn't
throw a
go
knee.
no more.
He's gonna throw a knee. I know he's gonna throw a knee. And there was a couple times where you can see that knee kind of like stutters, like it was about to go. I was like, this
Yeah,
guy's
I was
gonna throw
hoping.
it.
I at one point I was like, man, Nate Diaz just needs to throw an elbow or a knee in there somewhere. But he
Oh,
did
they were
grab it.
headbutting. They were headbutting the whole time.
Yeah, well, Jake
Yeah,
Paul
that-
was grabbing so much. It was like, dude, I don't think Jake Paul was able to handle the pressure. Nate Diaz was the pressure. And I
It was
can't
such a-
understand how you
was
guys see
boring.
that Jake Paul was the aggressor. No,
It was
it was
boring.
Nate Diaz who was the one
No,
pushing
no.
forward and the aggressor.
snooze
Dude.
fest, bro.
Nate
In a
Diaz
sense,
almost
yeah,
got
I'm not gonna
knocked
deny
out of
that
the
it was
ring.
kind of like,
Snooze
Nate Diaz almost
fest.
got knocked out of the
He
ring.
almost
no, he
did
did
get knocked-
not.
He went
Bro.
through. He went through the ropes.
Go to the tape. My
Yeah.
God.
Go to the tape.
Dude, stop watching Nate Diaz's highlight reel and
I
watch
know.
the actual
Why are
boxing
you
match.
ball
I
watching
watched.
him?
I watched it.
Clean as a
and
whistle.
I watched it.
Clean as a whistle.
I
Just rubbing in his bowels together with let me clean these for you.
Can
sir.
somebody get the conditioner? Want to make
You
these
over
things
there.
squeaky clean.
I don't think you guys understand what occurred
don't-
that night last
Oh
I
night.
don't
no,
think you
I understand
understand.
what's going on here. I understand what's going on here. They're putting a bunch of amateur fucking fighters against Jake Paul. I'm sorry, not amateur fighters. Amateur fighters in the classification of boxing.
Yep.
Okay. And then amateur fighter Jake Paul, and you're watching an amateur fight on pay-per-view. Fuck that. You can go to Friday Night Fights, and watch that shit for free on ESPN.
Real fights too.
Real fights. Guys that are 6-1 or 8-0 or whatever. They're up and coming, and they're going to the Olympics, and they're doing the proper fucking training and doing it and getting medals and going in and getting the ranks in. And that's how you do it. And Jake Paul is trying to leap over all that, get the cash grab, and then fuck everybody.
Tyson-
I'm not with it,
Tyson
bro.
said-
I would never,
aside from
ever
what you
pay for
guys
anything
see,
like that.
aside from what you guys are saying about Nate and everything, in reality, let's look at the bigger picture. Jake, like you said, like you mentioned, Jake Paul is trying to leap over all that
hard
shit
work,
that
the
hard
hard work.
work that every amateur boxer is actually doing. The only reason he was able to leap over that is because of his influential status, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's influence boxing,
and
bro.
it sucks for all these actual boxers. For me, it's like if you're trying to prove a point that you say you're a legitimate boxer and that you're here to stay, then fight these amateurs.
So you know that Russian
Give
fight.
those amateurs a chance.
Yeah, you guys have heard of Sergey Kovalev, right? He's a Russian boxer. He's
Yeah.
he's a pretty big boxer, right? Like he's pretty well known boxer, Sergey Kovalev, right?
Yeah.
He's been
Heavyweight?
fighting. No, he's cruiser. He's been fighting for a very long time. But you know what? He's only been a champion, I think, once or twice and lost the belt. Why don't you go back and say, hey, Jake, why don't you go and say, I'll fight Sergey?
Tyson said the best. Mike Tyson, baddest man on the planet.
He is
Guy,
badass.
he would go to work for 4 seconds and then leave with $1 million in his pocket. Mike Tyson, greatest fighter of all time. He said the best. He said, this isn't boxing. Give him some little like YouTube belt, and now you're the YouTube champ.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. WWE already did that. Basically saying, like, you know, you're
It's
not
a
a boxer.
joke.
You're a sports entertainer at best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And when Nate Diaz walked into that ring, he went from a true fighter to a sports entertainer. And he got smacked around, and he
Did not
lost
get
to
smacked
Jake
around.
Paul.
I disagree
Well,
with you saying he got smacked around
Bro,
because
I just
he-
see Jake
he
Paul.
held
I'm
his
just
ground.
glad he
Get
stayed in the
near-
ring after he got that right from
That shit was
the
hard.
Logan
son.
Paul or Jake Paul. I don't
One of
even
the-
know these Pauls.
One of the
guys.
Logan guys.
Yeah, one of the Paulies.
One of the
Uh,
Paulies.
What are these guys? Logans? I don't know.
Yeah,
What are they? What from Cleveland, Florida, whatever the fuck. I don't know.
cares.
From Cleveland.
Cares, dude.
But Tyson said it the best. He's like, this isn't boxing. You guys should just have your own little fake belt, and at least you'll have something to work for instead of just, hey, we're gonna dupe these people into paying a bunch of money.
Yeah, paying for it. How much
I
was
would-
the fight?
I don't know. I wouldn't pay for
I
it.
didn't pay for it.
I didn't pay for it.
Yeah, none of us
I didn't
paid
pay for it, so I'm not.
I
That's
saw
awesome,
it, but
but
I
all of us
didn't-
saw it.
I saw it. I didn't pay for it.
We know the hack, but
Yep.
If I did pay for it, I would ask for my money back. That's for sure.
dude, so bad. But I mean, good for them, meaning the Paul people, or am I saying this right? The Logan, but good for the Paul people that are making
Paulies.
the Pauls
Pauls?
that are making a ton
St.
of
Pauli's-
money
St. Pauli's
on
girls.
them. I'm not hating on that part. What I'm hating is that they go and he goes and fights fighters that are way out of their prime, not even professional boxing fighters. They're UFC fighters, and or not even boxing at all. Like they've never even fought a fight in their fucking lifetime, and they're in there in the ring.
He went after McGregor too for a while.
Conor
he was
McGregor
like-
whooped that ass, dude.
Yeah, you know what McGregor said? He was like, dude, I'm a professional. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna stoop to your level. Nate Diaz stooped to the level and lost. Lost.
Disagree.
What a joker.
Disagree
man.
about
Disagree.
what? Go to the tape.
Disagree.
It's-
We'll go
Dude,
back to the tape.
Yes,
We'll go back to the
it's
tape.
horrible.
There
It
was-
was horrible. Fool.
there was judges who said Nate Diaz lost.
lost.
And not he
because
lost.
granted, you know what? In
He
fairness,
lost
pretty bad.
pretty much unanimously.
In fairness to Nate Diaz, yes, he is a UFC fighter, an octagon fighter, and does he have any business in a boxing ring? Absolutely not. And it's
No.
evident.
Oh,
And it's evident.
No.
So there. I'm glad. Okay. So
Many will
moving on
disagree.
from fucking Paul, right?
I
Many will
saw. I
disagree.
saw.
Many
I
will
s-
disagree.
Many will
saw-
disagree.
Those are the
I
same
mean,
people that paid
yeah.
for the fight or went to the
I
fight and
think
bought
he
a
went
fucking drink in the
again.
stadium.
He went out there to prove a point that Jake Paul really isn't a boxer.
But he beat him. That's
But
a
he
that's a
did-
weird
did
point
he
to
really?
prove.
The point is you don't
Did
have
he
to go in
really?
a fucking
Just because
ring
these
to prove
judges-
that.
Just
The
because
point
these
is,
judges,
I'm going to go in
UFC
there
fighters have gotten
and
robbed by
expose
some
you.
judges.
You're not a real
boxers
fighter,
have gotten
and then I
robbed
lose.
by judges as well. I'm just
Fucking
saying.
garbage.
I don't know what
shitty-ass
point
fight.
he was trying to make. If he was trying to make a point,
I would never never again.
No.
I'm not even gonna waste my time watching shit like that. And the minute I see some sort of YouTuber fight some other Joe Schmo Twilighter fucking YouTube fucking whatever diminishing career type shit.
And I agree. I think they should just like.
Fuck
I mean,
that.
and there
yeah,
is
waste my time.
there is YouTubers versus TikTokers.
they should just have their own league.
where they have like their own boxing matches.
Garbage.
So I don't understand why they don't just throw Jake Paul on that end of things. Like, hey, they have
No.
YouTubers versus TikTokers. Go and box in that, whatever you want to call it, and stay away from real boxing.
Jake
If you
Paul
really want to
needs
be
to
a real
fight
boxer, then go up against
a
guys
ranked
that
fighter.
are ranked and that are in your class that are
Yeah,
ranked.
I'm not even saying top 10, man. Do a top 40 or go to number 38 and fucking fighter number 38 and give that motherfucker
Yeah,
a
let
little,
them get a purse.
let
that night.
him get a little fucking money.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
let them
saying?
get that purse.
That guy, and I
Yeah.
bet you that guy's fucking probably 12-2, you know, but has a solid fucking background, has been
But-
and did the fucking proper training and the proper fucking ranking system.
Right.
Go and give that guy the cash grab.
He's
Don't
gonna
give
go.
these
He's
Diaz
gonna
and
go in
fucking
there.
Nate Robinson.
He's gonna go in there and give it his all. This amateur guy. He's gonna go in there, give it his all, train like, dude. I was watching a training thing with Nate Diaz sparring, and he had a joint in his mouth. Like that's how serious he was taking this match.
What a joke.
Like, dude, it's boxing, bro.
And you know what, dude? And here's another thing. UFC fighters, if y'all want to go in there and mock boxing, go and mock your own fucking shit. Go to
Well-
UFC and do that shit over there. Don't come over here and start doing it to fucking boxing because
Well,
boxing has
you're just
become
trying
a
to go
joke.
get the
McGregor,
boxing's
the
fault.
thing is-
McGregor,
the thing
McGregor
is
thought
that
he can do it. McGregor
Boxing's
thought he
not a
can do it. McGregor thought he can do it, and
Couldn't do it.
Mayweather smacked the shit out of him.
couldn't do it.
Nate thought he can do it. Nate
Can't do
got
it.
his ass almost knocked out of the ring.
No.
Like almost knocked out of the ring.
It was
Like
so
onto
good.
like the announcer table.
No.
I know.
Like,
I thought he was gonna
like
seriously.
dude,
I thought
such
he was
a
gonna go for it.
joke. And then there was another UFC guy who nobody knows about who Jake Paul beat up
Silva.
too. But I'm just saying,
Tyron Woodley, Anderson Silva.
I'm
and-
just
All
saying-
UFC fighters,
Ben
by the way,
Askren.
I'm
not
just saying
sanctioned
it's
boxing fighters.
not it's a different game, man.
It really is.
It's a different game.
I cannot believe that. You know what my father-in-law told me? Shout out to my father-in-law, Frank. What up? Shout out to him because he told me this. He goes, hey, man, he goes, nobody could ever watch 12 rounds of this shit. Nobody. Because he goes, I'm sorry, this is not boxing.
Oh,
This is a
definitely not.
joke." He's all,
I
and
agree.
these guys can barely get through the fucking 8th round. He's all, look at those legs. This man has been watching fucking boxing for a very long time.
So
And
he
goes, look at
knows.
those
Yeah.
legs. He goes, those guys are fucking struggling to make it to round 10. He's all, dude.
Actually, I disagree on
Oh.
that. I think
Nate Diaz was
had no
struggling to
issue.
make it to round 3.
No, see,
like
there you
that
go
guy
again.
looked
I
like he
think-
was tired in the
I
first
disagree.
minute of round
I think
1.
Nate Diaz was fine going every round, and would have gone 12 rounds if he wanted to. The dude was sparring 20
Fuck wants to
rounds
watch
each
12
time.
rounds of that shit. That's not even a champion fighting. Not
Dude,
even
yeah,
champion
I mean,
fighting,
the
bro.
two chicks, the two chicks
But
who fought
again,
before that
This
was a
is
better
not
fight.
real. This is not real boxing. I'll give you guys that.
UFC and YouTube fighters
is
should stay the
boxing's fault,
fuck
though.
out of boxing. Why is it their
Listen,
fault?
It's
There's
because
plenty
they
of good
allowed
boxing
this.
matches out there.
Because they allowed this. All because
It
boxing
wasn't
is
sanctioned
dying.
by any fucking
Yeah, it's
top
not a
organization.
real thing.
It's not a WC, IBF, WBO, IBO fucking sanctioned fight.
Boxing
It wasn't. So
was
what do you
dying.
mean?
Boxing is dying, and guess what they did? well, let's allow these YouTubers and TikTokers.
They've
kinda
been
take
saying
over.
boxing has been
It's been dying for
after Tyson,
bro.
and he still had Canelo.
Yeah,
and
we
he still
all
had Pacquiao.
Yeah, but
we
it,
all
who's,
had
who is
Mayweather.
Canelo really fighting? I'm a big
Wilder,
fan of Canelo.
Furry.
Who is Canelo really fighting? We don't really know these names.
Yeah,
Canelo-
well,
but wait,
because
no,
they're
no, no,
not.
wait.
You know why? You know why, Rojo? Because they're not on YouTube and they're not on Instagram. They're in
Exactly.
the fucking gym training.
Hold on.
That's
hold
why you
on.
don't
No,
know who that guy's
guys
name
are
is.
wrong, because
Nate
Canelo's
Diaz,
has
then-
fought
you could
Triple
probably
G.
do
back
something
then-
like that.
because when we would watch boxing, we knew who the Marquezes were. We knew who the Barreras were. We knew who the Relas were. We knew who Pacquiao's were, Mayweather's,
Mhm.
Diego Corrales. I mean, Gotti. You know, we knew those names. They were household names. Right now,
true.
there's
Kinda
no
true.
there's no household names.
The household names are the Canelos and the Wilder and the Furries and those guys. Those are
But
the household names right now.
who's really watching Deontay Wilder right now?
Well, somebody
every
is
time
because
every time he goes to arena and fights somebody on the card, he sells out the arena, whether it's in Vegas or somewhere other casino, right? And he also his sales are always good in stadium. So I mean, it's obviously making decent money.
yeah,
Advertisers
boxing's
are
not
still paying for it. It's not
Yeah.
dead. They're
boxing's
still
not
making
dying
decent money.
I'm not
when you
saying
can
it's
throw
dead,
a boxing event.
You just said
in
it was a dying
Vegas.
sport.
It's
You
not.
just said it was a
it's-
dying sport.
It is a dying sport because you don't have those real names that we were watching before. There isn't those.
You know what? You're right. You're right about that. But I bet you can go and watch any amateur boxing fight and be like, damn, they put it all out on the table.
But well, they're trying to
They
prove
threw
a
it
point.
all
They're
out
trying to
there.
make it.
True.
That's
They're
why like
trying to make it.
college football players used to hit harder than pros. I had this whole big debate with my cousin one time about football players versus pro football players, because the pros got there. They already got their meal. They ate. They're sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
These college guys are so hungry, they'll run through a fucking brick wall
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
just to get to the table to eat. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's
And-
good
and
Boxing out there.
There
It
is.
just-
And back to
It's just
Canelo,
nobody. It's like, oh, I don't know who this person is, Alvarez versus Johnson. I don't
whomever.
know who these
Yeah.
guys are. I know, but it could be a dope fight.
That's right. A
Like, who
better fight
cares
than
what their
the
names
fucking-
are?
The fight that we saw with Paul and Diaz, that was terrible, dude. I never ever again. And by the way, Canelo also did fight Caleb Plant, who wasn't that bad.
No, yeah.
And I mean, he's actually a name that is known in boxing. At least he's that guy.
Caleb is the same guy who slapped the shit out of one of the Charlo brothers.
Well, okay.
Backstage.
Okay, so
That was funny.
I mean, Caleb Plant is not a bad fighter. And he fought him, beat him. He fought Triple G, beat him. In fact, they fought
Triple
3
G.
times, and Triple G's a hell of a fighter too.
Triple
Why
G's a
doesn't
stud.
I gotta think? I know that this will never happen too because Triple G is a little bit lighter. Why wouldn't Jake Paul ever say, "Oh, I'll fuck up Triple G"? You would
Because
never fuck up Triple G,
Triple
G
even though you're
could-
not even in the same weight
Triple
class.
G
Triple G
would
can kiss his
kill him.
fucking jaw and knock him
Destroy
out.
that
That's why.
man.
Triple G will kill him, dude.
And Triple G is smaller than him.
He's tiny.
Jake Paul's a big dude. Believe it or not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
For
he's
boxing-
big.
For
Dude,
boxing, he's a big dude.
He's 185.
Yeah,
When
that's
I
a big
saw him,
dude.
When I saw him like square up against Diaz, I was like, damn, Paul's
He's a
like
big
pretty
dude.
big. And
He's a
I
big
told
dude.
you, Rojo, I texted him before the fight. I was like, Paul's gonna win. Nate Diaz just doesn't look like he's in it to win it.
Nate Diaz looked like me, bro, in a ring with fucking limpy ass arms and fucking. Like, look at me, bro. I'm fucking boxing, guys. Look at me.
What are you gonna block
You're
like
talking
this?
about a
yo?
UFC fighter who's taking some fucking shots and has stood there and stood his ground. Okay.
Okay, well, go back to your
Okay.
sport,
Almost.
UFC fighter. Go back to your sport. This isn't your sport. Stay
Yeah.
there.
Well,
That's
Seriously.
like a
but that-
basketball player
but that's the
stepping into
same
a
thing-
football.
But that's what boxing.
That's like a basketball
That's
player
what
putting on
boxing
pads, bro.
but that's what
it doesn't
boxing
work.
in
It doesn't
general
work.
should say to all these YouTubers, especially Jake Paul, and say, go and create your own little league of boxing.
Boxing
stay
legends
away from
aren't even
actual boxing.
entertaining it. They're like,
no,
fuck
it's
off.
they're probably
Yes, they are.
I'm sure they're like
The people are
disrespected about
entertaining it, not boxing.
It's just like, oh, I'm
Here's the
okay.
problem is that
He-
boxing commentators, real actual boxing commentators,
We're not
are
there
like,
last night.
oh yeah, Jake Paul is he's a legitimate boxer.
We're not there last
This and
night.
that. Like
We're
they're
not
ball
there last
washing
night.
him.
I'm sorry.
Ball
I didn't see
washing him
any
the whole time.
notable commentators on
No.
on the Dazen network. Notable commentators because
Are
they
you
don't.
serious?
Because you know why?
The Zone they had actual boxing commentators.
No, bro. They had
No.
fucking up and coming commentators. They didn't have like the real
That's
commentators.
the minor leagues. That's the minor
Bro,
leagues.
this is a
Maybe
fucking-
one day they'll make a
It's a
Fox
farm
Sports.
system.
Yeah, maybe one day they'll do like Fox Sports
So
Midwest or
bad.
something. But
well, just
so
to wrap it
bad.
up, I
Yeah, man,
disagree
wrap
with
that
all of you.
shit up.
We thank you guys
Garbage ass
for
fight.
joining us on this NAU podcast and doing a
Stop
quick
ball
recap.
washing that fucking Nate.
You know
Diaz
what?
and those
Quick
You know what?
fucked up
recap of the
UFC
Nate Diaz
you know what?
Jake Paul
I'll tell you
fight.
this right now. The women's U.S. soccer game was more entertaining than that
That shit
fight.
was pretty fucking
The same
crazy.
U.S.
That shit was
women's soccer
gnarly.
team
I-
that
I-
wouldn't,
Yeah,
that
I
wouldn't
agree.
salute the flag. Yeah, that team. Okay,
yeah,
fuck
yeah,
them
that
too.
team.
Okay,
That was more
yeah.
exciting than Nate Diaz trying
Yeah.
to box.
Fuck
Yeah.
them. Fuck that women's soccer team. I much as I supported them and everything, but when you're not saluting the American flag, you can fuck off.